sound redundant, but it is kismet that today is the day I give the speech for a number of reasons. Shannon's not here, so a little bit less stress off me. Greg's not here as another speaker, so I don't have that challenge. And that I'm the only speaker, so that is a little bit on my side. I don't know if any of you have seen the movie Hancock. I've referred to it in a previous table topic, so I'll refer to it again today. In the movie, there's a scene when he went to jail. Okay, I'm not going to talk about that scene that you might be thinking of. But the scene that I want to speak of is he has to attend AA and anger management group sessions. And in that, he just sits in the back, and as they go around to call on him and ask him to share, he's always saying, pass. Week after week, pass. Pass. So he never shares. So until finally, one week, they come to him and he finally shares. I'm telling you this because that's how I've been in this Toastmasters. Every time someone would come in to me and say, you should give a table, you should give your icebreaker, you should speak, I would think to myself, pass. So I'd always do that. All right, to tell you a little bit about myself, my name is Brian Tweed. I've been here at DMI for almost 14 years, be 14 years next month. I am number 18 of the original DMI employees that are left here. Everyone above me have already left, so there's only 18 of us here that were former DMI. So every time someone leaves, I'm like, scratch them off the list, move up a bump. Prior to me working here, I was a manager at American Express, and I managed 7 offices in 5 different states. This required me to travel quite a bit because I had to go to every office once a month to do audits. So I did quite a bit of traveling from anywhere from Salt Lake City. I had 1 office in Salt Lake City, 2 offices in Denver, 2 offices in Kansas. Well, actually 3 offices in Kansas, 2 were in Kansas City, so they were close to each other. And 1 office here in Austin, which was my home base, if you want to call it that, since I was never here. My employees here were always like, when are you coming back? I want to speak of one of my most memorable travels that an experience. I was in Salt Lake City, and it's not necessarily a good experience, but it's an experience nonetheless. It wasn't terribly bad. I was in Salt Lake City, and I left work at 5 o'clock, and I had a 7 o'clock flight out of Salt Lake back to Austin with some layovers from like Dallas or something. And the flight had been canceled, and there was not going to be any other flight until the next morning. It's like, well, I have to get back to Austin. So I'm like talking to the agent, and she gets me on a flight from Salt Lake City to Las Vegas, and then from Las Vegas, a red-eye flight to Phoenix, and then Phoenix back to Austin. So needless to say, I didn't get into Austin until 7 o'clock in the morning. I was tired. I don't sleep on planes, so it was a little difficult for me to get even a little bit of a nap in. Well, that wouldn't be that much of a problem. I'd just go home and take a nap and then go on to the office later on. But my manager was flying in that morning, and I had already told her I would come and pick her up. Well, since I got there 2 hours before her, I was like, well, I'm not going to go home and then come back to the airport, so I just waited for her until she got in at 10 o'clock. And so, okay, now I'm still pretty tired. Okay, now my plan is I'll take her to the office, drop her off, and I'll go home and take a nap and come back into the office later on. This was around South by Southwest, and I'm new to Austin, so I don't know anything about South by Southwest. And I was in foreign exchange. So when we pull into the driveway, into the parking lot, there is a line out the door. Literally, I've never seen this place this busy. So as I'm walking up, I'm like, okay, I'm a manager. I can't just say, see ya. So I had to get back in the trenches and help get the line down. Okay, I'll just help the line go down and then I'll leave. Well, again, I didn't know what South by Southwest was. The line never stopped. It was out the door until 6 o'clock when we closed. I mean, literally, we closed at 6 and we were getting the last people in. I hadn't eaten, I hadn't sat down, I hadn't rested one bit. I was exhausted. So, and hungry. I hadn't eaten. So, on the way home, I decided to grab a bite at Taco Cabana, easy tacos to go, and I'll go home and eat. And then go to bed. I pick up my food, get home, pull out the TV tray, turn the TV on, wake up the next morning with one bite out of my taco. Needless to say, I was more tired than I was hungry. With my love to travel, I thought, well, traveling this much isn't enough, so let me add more to it. A friend of mine called. Her husband decided he wanted to race cars. So he's like, talk to your friend Brian, because he knew I liked NASCAR, if I would be on his race team. And so when she called me, she says, would you like to join the race team? I'm like, does NASCAR turn left? Oh yeah, I'm going to be there. So this caused me to travel from, I would travel to one city for work, and then on the weekends I would travel to where the race was, and then come Monday I would travel to my next city. That's how I could afford to travel, because I let the work pay for my travels to travel me to those cities. It was like either fly me home for the weekend or you fly me to a city, and it always came out cheaper for them, so that wasn't a big deal. My role in NASCAR was a spotter, so I don't know if anyone's familiar with what NASCAR does. They have a guy on the radio that will stand up there and talk to the driver and tell them what's going on around them on the track. And in this, I would sit there and tell the driver, say, we race small tracks, so it was always very congested, so I would say, car outside, still there, car outside, the whole time he's on the track. After about 15 laps, he finally says, damn it, Brian, I know it's a car, just tell me outside. It's like, okay, next lap he comes around, and he smacks the wall. And me being a smart ass that I am, we all know what's coming. Do I need to tell you there's a wall on the outside? He didn't find it as humorous as y'all did, but we do laugh about it now. So I have many other speeches and stories to talk about. I'll give in some other time about my travels. So until then, pass.
Well, that was really wonderful, Brian. I love ice